In Islamic tradition, there exists a majestic, otherworldly creature that has captured the imaginations of millions of believers over the centuries. Few creatures ring with such prestige in the Arab Islamic world than that of the Al Buraq, with wings on its flanks and a speed faster than the blink of an eye. This creature is said to have carried one of the greatest prophets of Islam on a miraculous night journey that transcended both time and space. This is Al Buraq, the celestial steed of Islam. For generations, humans have been telling stories, tales, and legends about creatures found all around the world. From the griffin to the chupacabra, and from the leviathan to the Chinese dragon. It's high time we set out an adventure to learn about them all. This is an expedition for the mythological. Welcome to Mytho Safari. In Islamic tradition, Al Buraq is most famously associated with the Isra and Miraj, the miraculous night journey and ascension of the Prophet Mohammed. But the origins of Al Buraq and its significance reach far beyond a single moment in history. This celestial Islamic mythological creature plays a significant role in Islamic eschatology, and its symbolism touches on the themes of divine guidance, purity, and the transcendence into heavenly worlds. But before we do continue, don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notifications to join our channel. It goes a long way in supporting us. And while you're at it, be sure to check out our new store where you can grab some awesome merch like t-shirts and other cool products at mythosafari.com. Every purchase helps the channel grow and keeps us bringing more content your way. In the Islamic faith, Al Buraq is the celestial steed that carried the Prophet Muhammad on his miraculous night journey from Mecca to Jerusalem, and then ascended with him into the heavens during the Miraj. The story of this journey is recounted in Surah Al-Isra, where it is stated, "Glory be to him who made his servant go on a night from the sacred mosque to the farthest mosque, the precincts of which we have blessed, that we might show him some of our signs. Surely he is the hearing, the seeing." Although the Quran does not explicitly mention Al Buraq by name, later hadith provides more detailed descriptions of this miraculous steed. According to the Sahih al-Bukhari, Al Buraq is described as a white animal, larger than a donkey but smaller than a mule, with wings on its side. Prophet Muhammad mounted Al Buraq on the night of Isra and Miraj, and the steed transported him from Masjid al-Haram in Mecca to Masjid al-Aqsa in Jerusalem in an absolute instant. From there, the Prophet Muhammad ascended through the seven heavens, where he met with previous prophets and ultimately revealed divine guidance. Now, you may have heard me drop the name Masjid al-Aqsa, also known as the Al-Aqsa Mosque, which sits right here in the most contentious religious site on planet Earth, the Al-Aqsa compound. This was the ancient site of the sacred temple, the house of worship and the most sacred site to the nation of Israel, recognized in the Quran and in Arabic as Bayt al-Maqdis, or in Hebrew, Bayt HaMikdash. In essence, a large portion of one of the most heated conflicts on planet Earth, the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, comes from this mythological creature. The name Al Buraq is derived from the Arabic root barak, which means lightning, in Hebrew barak, a fitting name for a creature said to travel at incredible speed. The journey itself is highly significant in Islam for many different reasons. The Isra marked the Prophet's night travel from Mecca to Jerusalem, while Miraj signifies his ascension into heavens. Both elements are essential parts of Islamic faith, emphasizing the unique connections between the Prophet Muhammad and God. The journey also underscores the sacredness of Jerusalem, a city revered by all three Abrahamic faiths, Judaism, Islam, and Christianity. Al Buraq's role in this journey is central, for it is the means by which the Prophet Muhammad was able to transcend the limitations of the physical world and witness divine revelations. Throughout Islamic art and culture, Al Buraq is often depicted with wings, a human face, or even a peacock-like tail, symbolizing its celestial origins and its otherworldly beauty. The story of Isra and Miraj is one of the most spiritually significant narratives in Islam, and Al Buraq is at its very heart. The Prophet Muhammad's journey, said to have occurred around the year 621 CE, is regarded as one of the greatest miracles granted to him by Allah. It is a profound moment in Islamic tradition, as it was during this night that the Prophet Muhammad received one of the most fundamental aspects of the Islamic faith, the 5 daily prayers, also known as Salah. The journey begins when the Archangel Jibril, or Gabriel, in Hebrew Gavriel, appears to the Prophet Muhammad in Mecca and presents him with Al Buraq. The Prophet mounts Al Buraq and the steed carries him swiftly to Masjid al-Aqsa in Jerusalem, where Muhammad leads a prayer in which other prophets, including Moses, Abraham, and Jesus, are present. This gathering of prophets signifies Muhammad's role as the seal of the prophets, the final messenger of God's revelation. Following this, the Miraj, or ascension to the heavens, begins. The Prophet Muhammad, still accompanied by Jibreel, ascends through the 7 heavens on Al Buraq, meeting various prophets along the way. In the first heaven, he encounters Adam. In the second, Yahya, John the Baptist, and Isa, Jesus, and so on until he reaches the highest heaven, where he is granted an audience with Allah himself. It is during this momentous event that Muhammad receives the divine command for Muslims to perform 5 daily prayers, an essential pillar of Islam. Al Buraq's supernatural abilities, its speed, its grace, and its connection to the divine enabled the Prophet to journey beyond the constraints of the physical world and enter the spiritual realm of heaven. Without Al Buraq's presence in the story, the Prophet would have been unable to reach the realm of God. In Islamic tradition, this journey is not just a story of physical transportation, but a metaphor for spiritual ascension, where the Prophet is elevated to a place of divine knowledge and closeness to God, one which their followers try to emulate on a daily basis. The night journey also firmly establishes a spiritual connection between Mecca and Jerusalem in the Islamic narrative, with Al Buraq serving as the link that unites these sacred realms. It's now important to mention the controversy behind Al Buraq and Masjid al-Aqsa. Without this video taking too much of a political or theological turn, as we are just trying to focus on the creature and its story, it is important to mention Jerusalem has long been the pinnacle of importance to the Jewish faith of the nation of Israel, also known as Am Israel, or in the Quran as Bnei Israel, the children of Israel. For thousands of years, a temple called the Great Temple, Beit HaMikdash. The first was sacked and destroyed by the Babylonians, the second by the Romans. The important part to remember is the place where that temple stood is also known as the location of the foundation stone, also known as the creation stone. The stone believed in the Jewish faith to be the exact beginning point of all creation. The entire earth and all of reality that we know was supposedly to come from that one rock. It is also the same rock where the story of the binding of Isaac, an important pillar between the Jewish people and God, eventually the great temples stood there. About 1,000 years later, as Islam was colonizing and conquesting throughout the Middle East and North Africa, eventually the Arab Muslims colonized Jerusalem as well. And they built their Al-Aqsa temple atop the most holy site for the Jewish people. They renamed the site into the Al-Aqsa compound, building the Dome of the Rock, or the Haram al-Sharif, above the most important site to the Jewish people. In the last remaining exterior wall, known as the Western Wall or the Wailing Wall, they renamed the site into Al Buraq Wall. And the legend comes that when the Prophet Muhammad entered Jerusalem, he had tied his Al Buraq to that wall. This is important to remember that there was a long, rich history of both Jewish and Christian spirituality on the same exact site. And through the story of the Al Buraq, a different narrative and a conflict that spreads to this modern day has come. While Al Buraq is distinctly an Islamic figure, there are intriguing parallels between the night journey and the ascension narratives found in both Judaism and Christianity. The idea of divine transportation, particularly with the assistance of supernatural steeds or celestial beings, is a theme that reverberates across all 3 Abrahamic faiths. In Judaism, the closest parallel can be found in the story of the prophet Elijah, or Eliyahu. The prophet Elijah is taken up to heaven in a miraculous event in the Book of Kings. He travels to the Jordan River with his disciple Elisha, knowing that Elijah's time on earth is near its end. As they walk in a rechev esh, meaning a chariot of fire, with susim shel esh, or horses of fire, appear, separating the 2 prophets. Elijah is then taken up to heaven in a whirlwind, leaving Elisha behind to carry on his prophetic mission. This story signifies Elijah's divine ascension without experiencing death, marking him as one of the most important prophetic figures in Jewish tradition. And in Christianity, after Jesus' resurrection, he ascended to heaven, as described in Acts 1:9-11. He did this in the presence of his disciples. While the New Testament does not mention a physical steed like Al Buraq, the idea of a prophet or holy figure being physically raised into heaven is present. Al Buraq has been a popular subject in Islamic art for centuries, and various depictions of the creature can be found in manuscripts, paintings, and sculptures across the Islamic world. In many representations, Al Buraq is shown with the body of a horse or a mule, but with wings on its sides and a human or angelic face. Some depictions even include a peacock's tail, but this has not been mentioned in the telling of Al Buraq. One of the most famous depictions of Al Buraq comes from Persian miniatures. Where the celestial steed is illustrated, these miniatures often emphasize the otherworldly nature of Al Buraq, with intricate details on the wings and facial expressions, capturing the beauty and the mysticism of the creature. In Ottoman and Mughal art, Al Buraq was also a popular subject, frequently appearing in illuminated manuscripts that depicted the Isra and the Miraj. These illustrations typically showed Al Buraq in dynamic poses, flying through the night sky with the Prophet on his back, surrounded by angels and other celestial beings. The celebrated Sufi poet Rumi often spoke about the mystical night journey in similar terms, emphasizing how the soul's intense love for the divine pushes it forward, just as Al Buraq swiftly carried the Prophet Muhammad to his meeting with Allah. In one of these verses, Rumi suggests that the spiritual journey is not something that can be delayed or halted, likening the urgency to the speed of Al Buraq. Lovers share a sacred decree to seek the beloved. They rush towards the beautiful one like a torrent of water. Beyond Rumi, the concept of Al Buraq also appears in stories of other mystics. Sufi mystics like Ibn Arabi expanded on the idea of the Prophet's journey, seeking Al Buraq as an embodiment of the mystical light that propels a soul towards divine union. The swift movements of Al Buraq across vast distances in an instant is symbolic of how the soul, when driven by divine love, can overcome the limitations of time and space to experience moments of deep spiritual insight. The legend of Al Buraq has endured through the centuries, and today it remains a powerful symbol. It is commemorated each year during Lailat Al Miraj, a special night in the Islamic calendar that celebrates the Prophet Muhammad's miraculous journey. During this time, Muslims reflect on the significance of the journey, the importance of prayer, and the spiritual lessons that can be drawn from the story of Al Buraq. Lailat Al Miraj is deeply spiritual. It is observed by Muslims to commemorate the Prophet's journey. The event is believed to have occurred on the 27th night of Rajab, the 7th month of the Islamic lunar calendar, and it holds immense significance for Muslims around the world. During this night, many believers reflect on the journey as a moment when Muhammad was brought closer to the divine, ascending through the 7 heavens and meeting previous prophets such as Musa, Moses, and Abraham, or Moshe and Avraham in Hebrew. This journey, facilitated by the celestial steed Al Buraq, is a cornerstone of Islamic belief. In modern observance, Lailat Al Miraj is celebrated with optional prayers, gatherings in mosques, and the telling of the story to children. In some Muslim-majority countries, cities are lit up with candles and electric lights, and food is shared with the family and friends after the night prayers. It is also a time when Muslims reflect on the gift of Salat, the 5 daily prayers, which were commanded during this very journey. The story of Al Buraq carries quite a bit of controversy, being that this story of this mythical creature and the Prophet Muhammad flying to Jerusalem, and the way that Arabs and Muslims further colonized the region, built their holy site atop the holy site of a different faith, and hold on to it till this very day as a place where only Muslims can enter, is both a lesson to learn for the world and a mythological story that we can observe with a level of respect from far away. Whether it's seen as a mystical creature from the pages of a religious text or as a metaphor for the human soul's journey towards enlightenment, Al Buraq's legacy definitely still endures. And we can hope that people will be able to find peace and not war, even though this story carries quite the legacy with it. We hope you enjoyed the safari with us. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notifications and become a member to support our channel. It really goes a long way in helping us create new videos. Before you go, make sure to check out mythosafari.com. Our merch store has t-shirts and other fun products that directly support the channel. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you on the next safari. Goodbye, friends.